This episode of MMA Nuts is brought to you by Rev Gear. Use code MMA Nuts to get 20% off retail prices. Host Papa. Save 15% off hosting with code MMA Nuts. Dentalplans.com. Get 10% off plus 2 months free with code MMA Nuts. Plush Beds. Get $50 off your cart over $750. Use code MMA050. Penn Soap. Be clean like Overeem. Save 15% off with code MMA Nuts. Hey fans, it's MMA Nuts, episode 293.
293.
My name is Ingo Weigold.
Matt Griffith, MMA show by my fans, for my fans. We're locked on between serious and ridiculous. What's going on? What's happening? See how that fly go?
What?
I don't know.
What does that mean?
I have no idea. I'm just speaking in tongues.
Yeah.
Hopefully one of them will make sense.
Okay, which tongue is it?
The Latin tongue or the forked tongue of the devil.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I like when my wife is so pissed off at a bank that she has a password that says, I hate such and such bank, 666.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Like, what the fuck? And I didn't know what the password was for the bank. And apparently I can't even log in because there's so many security questions. So it's not only do you have to have that password.
Oh, God.
Then there's 2 other security questions. And then they're asking for a mobile phone number. I finally just said, fuck this. Can you just tell me if this check hit or not? I don't know, fucking.
Yeah, they're getting ridiculous at these banks. I've been using Quicken forever. And all of a sudden now, even just to update the software on your home computer, it requires a text message that you have to enter a code. Even though I know the password, right? Doesn't matter. You have to enter a code. It's what do they call that, like 2-step verification or something?
It's horse shit, and I don't need it. I don't care for it.
It's on my computer. All I'm doing is syncing up from the cloud, like what's happened, but I have to do like 5 steps. And yours sounds even worse than that. Who can do? Okay, so the question is do you use many different passwords all over, or do you have sets of passwords, kind of like I do, where I use a set for like I don't give a fuck sites, and I use a set for there's like levels of security. So, but it's maybe like 4 or 5 passwords, but it depends on where I'm at.
Sure.
But I think some people I've come to realize either A, use the same password everywhere, which is totally crazy. Don't do that. And then other people just randomly use passwords, and they can't remember any passwords.
I used to have a book next to my computer for every website. I would have a different password. So like blah 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 blah. Now I just variate. Like you start with a base, and then I like to add on to the end of it.
As long as you're within that 3 or 5 when there's 3 strikes you're out thing, where then they lock you out, and then you got to call. Oh God,
a fucking pain in the ass.
It is.
So,
unlock your account.
It's so unsecure as it is. You know, how many times do every single one of these companies get hacked or breached? It's a fucking daily occurrence.
Somebody big just got hacked again, I think.
Oh, LinkedIn. Yeah, they were sending out emails about I think the 2012 hack. And blah, blah, blah. This happened and that happened. You changed your password. You should be okay. And
I never changed my password. Fuck it.
I did. Just one of a number, 8,000 passwords to try to remember.
Yeah. And the worst are the sites that make you not use the last 5 passwords when you reset it. And then
you know what you do? Fuck. Then you rerun through all of them to get back to the one you want. So you just create 5 new ones. Oh God. And then go back to. That's what I do. I'm gonna keep the one I want and fuck you. Because they used to do that to us at work. I don't play these games.
Too much work, man.
I want the same password.
I'm getting anxiety just thinking about it.
Better check your blood pressure.
Maybe I should.
On the show. Like, oh, fuck.
Awesome. It takes 3 readings. It takes
over
like
120.
3 readings. So, anyways.
It's all good.
Hey.
Yes.
Speaking of blood pressure, let's talk about UFC 199 because I am fucking excited about this shit. I know you are. Things have happened with this event. It's happening June 4th at the Forum in Inglewood. Back to your hood, California.
Yes. This is the first event where we're going to have the new weight cutting procedures in effect. Ooh. And as of a month ago, a lot of the main card fighters had no idea what those were and are probably going to get fucked up and not make the rehydration test. So basically what the California State Athletic Commission is going to do is urine tests on the day of the weigh-ins to test if the fighters are severely dehydrated. I don't have the definition of what severely dehydrated is. And they're also going to do it on fight day. But the one nice thing is they're allowing the fighters to weigh in at 10 a.m. on the day of the weigh-ins versus that later, 4 or 5 o'clock weigh-in. So Dominick Cruz was in the UFC 199 embedded. He's going, oh, it's so much nicer. I can wake up at 6 in the morning, cut weight, and I only have to sit there for 2 hours. I don't have to fucking cut weight all day and then sit at the weigh-ins for 4 hours. So he feels that there's going to be a little bit of an advantage, but I still think one of these title fights, and I'm looking at Uriah Faber when I say this, I don't think he's going to be rehydrated enough, because that's the question. What level of rehydration are they looking for? I don't know. And I guess it's kind of one of those things where we're going to have to wait and see. But I'm putting my money on Uriah Faber not being rehydrated enough, and that fight going right out the window.
So basically, the ruling is just to make sure I understand it. Is on fight day you have to have a certain amount of hydration, or they will not allow you to fight.
Correct.
There's no other stipulation.
Correct.
Other than that, nothing about like the difference and none of that crap. Okay. Interesting.
No. And then they're gonna test you the next day.
And you still can't use IVs.
Correct.
Okay.
So
can you take rectal loads?
Anything rectal is
As much
always
liquid
approved
as
and
you can
actually
get?
encouraged.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. UFC approves of these things.
Perfect.
They should be running for president. I approve of this message.
Yes. I am not a crook. Whatever you want.
Gary Johnson.
Yes.
For president. He was just on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah, I couldn't listen to it. I tried.
You got to get past the first. It was 15 minutes of this nonsense.
Like, what are they
you got to
talking
get past
about?
the nonsense, and then he gets into some okayness, but.
Because I don't know what the fuck
conservative,
he was even saying.
liberal. I'm like, dude, just shut the fuck up. Let's talk about some issues.
Yes. Okay.
I don't know what fuck you're talking about.
I think I got about 15 minutes in.
You gotta get past that.
I don't know. This sounds like CNN to me. I don't know what the hell what is he saying? English,
blah,
man.
Blah, 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 blah. It's all good. Right. So, back to this. Let's start with Luke Rockhold versus Michael Bisping 2, which is supposed to be Chris Weidman versus Luke Rockhold 2.
Got the neck injury.
Yeah, Chris fucked his neck up.
Maybe out forever, from what I was reading.
Really?
Very serious thing, yeah. So I think he's in the Tito Ortiz territory.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So the broken cranium does everything for the fans.
Right, exactly.
Oh, no. What if that's the syndrome? Like, you fuck your neck up, and then you start talking like Tito at every press conference.
Yes.
I can crack my skull.
I can crack your skull. Perfect. All right, let's talk about it. So it's a rubber match. No, it's a rematch.
Yeah, it's a rematch, and it's a challenge, because... You know, Bisping's taken a fight on a few weeks' notice, and I know he's been out filming some movies, so he said he was keeping himself in some sort of condition for the movie, but that's kind of weird. I don't know how good of shape he's going to be in. It's his finally gets his title shot, though, after, I think, 10 years of being in the UFC.
Yep.
And, you know, I was watching the UFC 199 betted, and Bisping's youngest son even thinks Luke Rockhold is going to beat him.
Ah, shit.
Yeah, so like, what the fuck? Because I'm trying to think, like, how does Bisping beat him? Like, maybe it's a stare down, because that I can't look at him when he looks in the camera. It bugs me out. He's got a weird fucking vampire eye. I think the biggest thing he's got going for him, he's got nothing to lose. Right. And that may be an advantage for him. But as far as when I think of what does he bring to the game plan, or what does he bring to the table, it's the same thing every time. It's cardio and movement. And I think the one stat he has where, I gotta look this up, he's got first place in the UFC for the most significant strikes landed with 1,393.
Whoa. That's
so he lands a lot of strikes. I mean, he's got the cardio, so he's not necessarily carrying all the power, but I just don't see how he wins this fight unless I flip it over to the Luke Rockhold side. Unless Rockhold could be overconfident, could be coasting these last 2 weeks,
just
right?
a bit,
a little bit. But I think he's probably done enough of the hard work that even if he was to coast a little bit, can't get by. Rockhold, though, he does start slow. He does get tagged early. So if I'm Bisping, should blitz the shit out of Rockhold, because he seems to have a hard time getting his timing and judging the distance right away. Like, it takes him a few minutes, almost similar to how Anderson Silva would, like, I need a good 3 minutes, and then it's like, boom. Okay, I got you now, bitch. But I really like Rockhold in this one. I think I don't know if he's going to finish him as offensively as he did the last time with that one-arm guillotine. But I just look at what Rockhold is bringing and what Bisping bringing. Rockhold is evolving. Bisping is Bisping. So I'm taking Rockhold. I don't know if he's going to do it first round. I think it'll be another second round guillotine. Hopefully, rear naked choke. Second round, rear naked choke. Mike's going to give up the back.
Limbering up here.
Mike's going to give up the back.
For my retort.
Go, retort me.
I just watched this fight again, like yesterday or the day before.
Okay.
Michael Bisping was winning that shit until that stupid-ass headbutt. Yes, dude, like you said, Rockhold.
Headbutt. See, that's the good point. You know, he gets distracted a lot if the fight doesn't go perfect.
No, that fucked him all up because he was doing fine. He was in, he was out. He was keeping, like, in the right distance. He wasn't too far out where Rockhold could just tag him with the kicks.
That's the first 2 minutes.
I thought it was more like 3.5.
Okay, so that's okay.
It was a good. It was. He was doing fine, and then the round ends, and he's got blood in his eye and shit, whatever. And he just. It was almost like he was playing poke the bear after that because he would pop in and run away, and then Rockhold would attack him. He'd pop in and run, and it was like over and over and over again. And I think he said that in that Ariel Helwani interview. Same thing. He was staying in Rockhold. I mean, he was standing there in a range where Rockhold could just tag him with the kicks. It was bound to happen. I feel like this is Mike's time, man. We hate the Bisping here for some reason, but you know what?
I hate him.
Do you still hate him?
Not as much anymore. He seemed to mellow out.
He's grown on me. I think he's made a lot of comments
like genital warts.
Yes, exactly like that. You know, he kind of said that he felt bad about what he did previously, and maybe he was involved with some people that not just in this Helwani thing. He said a few times he was around people that maybe promoted that type of behavior, and he didn't feel like that's who he was, so he removed himself from that. And I always like listening to him, you know, when he does the pre-fight or post-fight or whatever on TV. I think he's a genuinely nice guy, and the way he talked on the Helwani show, I'm thinking, dude, this guy's got his head on straight. He knows that this is his shot, and he's kind of like, he's going to take it. And like you said, he's got nothing to lose. He's got the cardio, maybe not all the power, but Rockhold, if he starts slow, he comes in cocky. Bisping has nothing to lose. He goes after him. As long as nothing crazy happens that will get him off his game, I feel like he can take Rockhold. It will be like a Diaz/Cowboy Cerrone where the third, fourth round comes along and Rockhold's like, motherfucker, this guy's still here. Son of a bitch. He's going to win a decision. I'm telling you, it's going to be close as fuck. It'll be 2 judges to 1. People will boo. There will be controversy, and they'll do it again, but he's going to win. I'm calling it right now. Decision. Mike with the fucked up eyeball.
Headbutt.
And all. As long as there's nothing crazy.
My mouthpiece fell out. Can I call timeout? Boom! Flying knee. Oh, Jesus Christ.
He said he wasn't going to stay in Rockhold's kicking range, which was the big problem.
Okay, well then Rockhold take you down. Where's he going to stay? In boxing range? Clinch range?
Well, maybe, but, you know, Rockhold did take him down, but last time when he was stunned when he did the, you know, so it was a little different. It was like, where am I? You know, so I like this fight. I think it's cool. I hope Mike lives it up. You know, this would be one of those fights where it'd be cool, like, to have the British crowd and everybody go crazy. What does the 8-ball say?
Magic 8-ball.
It's like, fuck you and your fucking logic.
It says, don't count on it for Luke Rockhold.
Ooh.
So Magic 8-ball is going with the count. Michael Bisping.
All right.
Dominick Cruz, Uriah Faber, fight that I say is not going to happen. But what do you think?
Well, if it does or doesn't, I don't really give a fuck either way. I will say this. I was looking at some history, and holy fuck, Faber has had a lot of fucking fights. Like, and I didn't realize he was like almost 40 years. Yeah,
some odd fights. He's 37 years old.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was that old. I always think of him as like a young guy.
It seems like it.
Damn, he's old. He's Dan Henderson old. You know, like he's fucking Rashad Evans old. He's going crazy. And Cruz proved to me that as much as I hate his herky jerky style, as much as I don't like it, it's like, dude, T.J. Dillashaw destroyed people, and Cruz made him look like a fool. I can't.
Yeah, but he only won by a split decision.
After coming back from injury, you know, the whole 9 yards. It's a whole different story. I think there's a lot of bad blood here between these two still for some reason. You know, I think Cruz wins this. I'm going to go ahead and say what will happen in this fight. I would like the over and under. What is the over under? Uriah Faber breaks one or both hands in this fight?
Probably pretty good.
Okay.
The thing is, he hurts himself, but he fights on.
Yes, he's tough as shit. So it will go to decision, and Cruz will win.
That would be shocking. Cruz winning by decision.
Yes, it will go to decision. This may be the longest pay-per-view in the history of pay-per-views, so I'm picking Cruz via decision.
Yeah, seeing how Dominick Cruz wins 62% of his fights by decision, that's probably a safe bet. You know, both these guys have a win over each other, so this is the defining match. And my question is, like, how healthy is Dominick Cruz? You know, he's been out, off and out. How are those knees? I'm wondering if he's coming in with an injury. And then for Faber, Jesus Christ, I looked this up. He's lost his last 6 times that he's fought for a championship belt. 6.
Yep.
This is lucky number 7. Okay, he is getting the belt this time.
He's an
and
example of a guy. Yeah.
I just feel like Faber, he was doing well in the last time that he fought Cruz. He's got to pressure him. You can't sit back and let Cruz run a train on you where he's just fucking, hey, dude, here, I'm here, and there, and there, and there. Fuck that. Get on him. Get him down to the ground if you can. It's tough, but you can't let him operate in space. You got to get up on him.
Yes. Put it in his ass, Faber.
What? I don't know about that.
I'm sorry. Put him on his ass.
There you go. There you go. I don't know what you think about.
I love it.
But I'll buy that for $1. I subscribe and I'll support your campaign for president.
Cruz is winning the. Thank you. Cruz is winning the conference call.
Is he? I haven't listened to.
Oh man, there's been some nuggets out there. If you guys Google it, the last one was he's smoking them. Faber has nothing.
Well, Cruz won this Twitter exchange. I was reading UFC Vegas, so it's UFC tweeted one of his quotes. It says, "I'll be in great shape for this fight, and I'll look real good when I'm beating you up." That must have been one of the quotes from the press conference. And then some guy responds, "Tough talk for someone who doesn't finish a fight." Then Cruz responds, he says, "Judging by your fat face, you need to quit finishing those cheeseburgers and worry about yourself."
Perfect.
I like that. They're champion talking shit to some not so much fans.
Is that Dana White, like hijacking his account?
Maybe.
Sounds like some Dana White shit.
It's a weird one, man. I mean, we've had 2 fights together. And I still don't think it's gonna happen. If it does happen, I like fucking Faber's chance. I think it's his time. You know, fucking 6 times to have the shot.
So crazy.
6.
That's
He's
like
got to
Bisping.
win 7.
Never
but
gets
he never got
He's
there.
just short.
He would get to sniffing distance and then lose. Sniffing distance and lose.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take Faber by guillotine. 4th round guillotine.
So you think it's gonna go wow?
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much
I think
good,
so.
right? Yeah.
Ask again later. Magic 8 Ball. Dominick Cruz. Ask again later. Shocking. If you say it again, you're going into a wall. Faber. Magic 8 Ball.
Nice.
All right, and then the last one we're going to talk about. Dan Henderson versus Hector Lombard. So this fight, we were talking about it earlier. This is like a coin flip, right? The things that concern me about this fight, it's Dan Henderson's last fight on his contract, and it sounds like he's already considering retirement.
Yeah.
So we got that going. And his chin has been fading of late. And I don't know if that's age, getting hit a lot, coming off of the TRT. It seems like everyone, and even Hector Lombard, you know, he comes back from his first fight after being suspended for steroids. Dominating the first round against Magny, almost finishes the fight, but then ends up getting finished. And that's typical of what happens for anybody that's been using steroids. Like every time they come back, they lose their first fight. So I think you get that one out of the way, you come back. I feel like, unfortunately, Dan Henderson's going to get knocked out in the first round. I feel this is happening. I don't want to see it happen. I feel that's going to happen. What say you?
Well, I was looking at the histories of the 2 fighters, and I noticed something about Lombard. I feel like he hasn't fought anybody with serious power, ever. He's fought a lot of technical guys with endurance, you know, the Magnies, Shields, Marquardt, Palhares, guys who have skill sets that are uniquely defined, you know, like a Palhares, for example, or have a lot of cardio, but nobody has the kind of power that Dan Henderson has. And this is I think this is his first fight moving back to middleweight, right? Who's down, Lombard, I believe, moving back up. So that might be something.
Should be good.
It could be good or bad. Could be good. Could be bad. I don't But I like Hendo's chances, although he is 2-6 in his last 8. You know, a couple KOs
tough,
in there.
man.
Yeah, it's tough. Like you said, chin. I don't know where the chin's at. You know, he's suffered some losses, but I think that's a lot of power. I will say that this fight will not go more than 3.5 minutes, is my guess, because nobody has cardio anymore. You're not getting Dan Henderson Shogun. You're not getting like that freaking war kind of shit. It's not going to happen. Both guys don't have gas tanks. I think they're going to come out for broke. And I believe Dan Henderson will shock the world once again with that right hand that everybody should know about by now, but somehow is not able to ever stop it.
And you know what? Since Bisping's on the card, you better follow it up with that a little extra something just to shut him down.
Yes.
Just out of respect. UFC 100, never forget.
That's right.
All right, Magic 8 Ball is going to take.
Oh, my eyeballs are itching.
Hector Lombard.
Ooh.
Right,
could be a barn burner. I mean, the rest of the card looks solid-ish. You know, so I urge you to watch.
Right. We will be.
Vote early, vote often.
Right.
Before we segue into news, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
On this Comedian's Experience podcast, he interviews comics and does recaps of Ultimate Fighting events. For 200.
Yeah. Joe Rogan has a Jeopardy question.
Yeah, did you see that? Is that cool or what?
It's interesting.
It's weird.
Why? Well, someone must know somebody to put somebody on.
How do we get on Jeopardy? That's my question. We need something related to BBC or the HIV or something. Something along those lines.
Yes.
Needs to be introduced. So, anyways.
All right. News.
What do you want to talk about first?
New fights?
Sure.
What do you got?
Barnett versus Arlovski, main eventing September 3rd, UFC in Germany.
We were calling for that one.
We were.
Oh, yeah.
They listened.
We got, who else? Mioic and Overeem going down in Cleveland.
Yep.
A little hometown advantage for Mioic. And also Rothwell and Werdum on the same card. Heavyweight throwdown. They should have just put them all on one card, man. We haven't had that in forever.
Was it you who said this, or did I read this on the web? Somebody said something, or maybe it was you. Cain Velasquez loses in Mexico or something.
No, I think you sent that.
Did I send that to you? And Werdum loses in Brazil. There's been like 3 or 4 champs who've lost in their hometowns, and now we have Mioic in Cleveland.
I'll pick right against him.
This is scary.
I'm picking right against him.
I don't know.
Well,
Plus the heavyweight curse. You know?
Yeah, well, I think Overeem, when you talk about a fighter that's evolving and you don't know what the fuck to expect, I think he's the scariest in my mind, because I don't know what guy I'm going to fight and what kind of game plan is he going to come at me with. So.
Okay.
Like, fuck, that's scary.
I like it.
What else we got? We got FFC Final Fight Championship.
Nice.
They're gonna hold their first card in the U.S. this Friday in Daytona Beach, Florida. Karo Parisyan, main eventing.
The judoka.
Yes, and they're also doing kickboxing, and it's gonna be fought in a ring.
So ring and cage, same event?
No, just everything in a ring.
Oh wow, that'd be interesting because, you know, we've called for. Let's do the ring thing. Yeah,
and it was interesting talking to them because they wanted to do the Pride rules but couldn't get approved here in the United States.
Damn it!
Like, man, are you kidding me? That would have been epic. It's unfortunate, but
Indian reservation.
Yeah, you can make shit happen. You can. So you can see that at FightChannelTV.com. Pay-per-views $14.99.
What?
Ticketmaster.com. Buy tickets.
Spend more on that, like on coffee or something.
Yeah. So moving right along.
I like it.
What else you got?
Well, there's this whole controversy, which we just talked about, 199, BJ Penn being pulled from the card due to error of judgment, perhaps, regarding an IV that he received. And he just recently, actually, yesterday said that he did have an IV administered. He admitted to it. But he said it was after doing a physical and looking at his symptoms, he needed some glutathione, according to the doctor. And they checked to see if that was on the banned substance list, which it's not. But they apparently never thought about the fact that, hey, IVs are banned. I think they thought maybe it was only like post weigh-ins, but not. And I'm not clear about that part either. I thought IVs are only banned like post weigh-ins, not ever. I mean, can they never take an IV? Is that really the?
Yeah, well, I think the weirder thing is he disclosed this to USADA when they did a random drug test with him in March.
Oh.
So I don't know why we're waiting 12 days before the event to pull him from it when they knew back in fucking March.
Maybe he wasn't gonna make the rehydration limit.
Well, what the hell? How does that make any sense? 12 days before, you knew 2 months ago.
Yeah. I don't know either. That sounds fishy.
It's way fishy.
There's been a lot of weird shit around BJ Penn the last 6 months.
It's a little bit.
Really weird stuff.
There's some weird, I don't know.
What's going on, BJ? Call me.
Yeah.
Talk to me,
Mahalo.
man. Yeah, mahalo, baby.
Or something. So,
yeah.
We'll see what happens with that. Fight Pass has this cool series now called, it's like a Where Are They Now, where they're following and checking back in with former contestants on the Ultimate Fighter show.
Ooh.
So they did Tate Fletcher, Noah Inhofer, Dean Thomas, Bobby Southworth, and Luke Como.
Luke Como.
And I thought there were some interesting takeaways from that, because Noah was the guy, I think he had won his fight and he was having issues with his girlfriend. They wouldn't let him call. And basically Dana said, well, it's either you stay or you go today. He's like, I need to talk to my girlfriend. I'm leaving. So it turns out he ends up marrying that woman, still with her to this day.
All right.
Live in Hawaii, open their own gym. Couldn't be any more happy.
Good for you, man.
Like, that was a good one to see, because like, oh no, this guy, he's got a chance. You don't want to see him throw it away just for a chick. I think they were only dating for 6 months at the time, and so that was a good outcome to see.
Yeah.
The other one that was kind of depressing was Luke, because he said basically after the Ultimate Fighter that kind of lost everything. You know, got divorced, and
Wow, really? Isn't he a little?
Yeah, he was always a little off. It seemed
wacky?
like he's owns and lives in his own gym now, and he's teaching MMA.
Strange guy. He lost everything, huh?
Yeah.
Because of that, or he just
I don't know.
maybe had a meltdown or something.
But it's interesting to kind of follow up with each guy, and it's real short segments. They're only even like 5 to 10 minutes. But
So you
hopefully,
need Fight Passes to watch this.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
all right.
hopefully they'll do more of those, because it was interesting to see, and I'd say 4 out of the 5 were semi-positive. And
Okay.
You know, I want to see the positive. I don't really need to see about Luke telling me he lost everything because of the fucking show and whatever. But
My life is over.
yeah, I don't want to see that.
No.
All right, what else you got for news-wise?
All right, well, here, keeping it light, I got 7 of MMA make the Sports Illustrated fittest 50 athletes in the world. I'll go from worst to first. So at number 30, we have Miesha Tate.
Okay.
With me so far. Number 19, Ronda Rousey. Now keep in mind, fittest.
I don't know about that. We already,
Um,
depending upon when.
we got Conor McGregor for the men is number 39. Sure. Number 17 is Demetrius Johnson. And number 4 is John Jones, and only eclipsed by Ben Smith, who is some CrossFit guy, LeBron James, which we all know who that is, and then there's Ashton Eaton, who's a decathlete, track athlete guy, track and field guy. Wow, John Jones at number 4. Even with the coke and all that shit.
Hey, because he's powerlifting. I think the powerlifting put him to number 4.
Fucking
All right?
CrossFit. I couldn't find what is the criteria for this shit.
It's
no,
just
here we go.
some other
Strength,
bullshit.
pushing power of a lineman, or the force of an ultimate speed, endurance, and agility. Interesting. So it was there. Yeah, there it is. So whatever the fuck that means. So maybe Ronda's like beefy, but she's fast, powerful, endures.
Sure.
Like fried chicken.
Right.
Take and Starbucks.
Her dog's like the smell of her vagina.
Exactly. Ooh, I mean.
Yes. Hey, speaking of which, Paige VanZant came in second place on Dancing with the Stars.
Oh.
And
Was that news reporter first? Is that what happened?
talking to my mother-in-law, she said it was blasphemy. She should have won, because apparently what happens is 50% of the score is based on the judges' scores, which Paige won, and then 50% is a fan vote.
Okay.
So I feel like there was some
Who won? Do you know?
sham. I think the other woman, I want to say she was deaf.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I don't know if she got a pity vote, if she was better. I didn't watch the fucking show. Or if the fix was in. Because anytime there's a fan vote and it's not transparent, anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Okay.
So, but here's another thing. Is she going to come back to fighting? Or it sounded like she might have got a movie role or something out of this?
You think that she's good looking enough where she could do it.
She's got the Reebok sponsorship, the straight up Reebok sponsor. I think she was one of the first ones.
I'm trying to see who won. I think it was. Anyways, I can't fucking find it. Google sucks. Seriously, Dancing with the Stars winner, and I get nothing but ridiculous articles.
Like blah blah blah. Blah blah blah.
Niley DeMarco. Whoever. Apparently, maybe she is deaf. Whatever.
Yeah.
So apparently, your older family members do watch the show. I think the show is geared towards this age demographic.
Like older?
Yes. Because my wife's parents watch it too. I
no interest.
I mean, I watched it some. I watched it when I think Chuck Liddell was on there, and that was okay. But I mean, I respect people who can dance. I'm not one of them, so I'm like, what are you guys doing?
It's a lot to remember.
Yes.
The routine. Maybe if you were good at taekwondo and doing all the movements to like get a belt or
whatever. Gotta have the
hips,
hips, Matt. I don't got the hips.
It's all about the hips.
Yeah, the hips don't lie.
It's true. So here's an interesting one. So for the month of May, I looked at the most interesting searches that brought people to MMAnuts.com.
Ooh, I like this.
These are in no specific order. I'm just gonna read about groin kick MMA, lingerie fight porn, hot girls wrapped in ring tape.
What?
Sexy big girls. Brazil model big ass blonde lingerie.
Oh my God, that's a huge search string.
I know. MMA Chris Cyborg ass pic.
Perfect.
Alistair Overeem naked.
Wow.
Balls on your forehead.
What?
Chris Weidman masturbating.
Okay.
Oh, okay. What the fuck, people?
I want to know who put that search. What is it again? The long one?
Brazil model big ass blonde lingerie.
Dude, that is a very specific search string. There's a man out there who's like, or men who are like, hey, I need something exactly like this.
How are balls on your forehead making it to us? How is Alistair Overeem naked or Chris Weidman masturbating?
Have we said these things?
I don't know. Maybe we said them now. Maybe we're doing some fucking Game of Thrones shit.
Here.
I don't know.
Hold the door.
No door. So wore my shirt out of respect.
Yeah,
Respect.
I
wore it the other day.
Did you?
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. If you're not a Game of Thrones fan, let's not spoil it. But if you are, you know what we're talking about.
Yeah, damn right.
Yeah.
I'll give you a USADA random drug testing watch. This is from last week, so I didn't update the stats because I forgot to say it last week because we had too much going on.
Yes.
They are fucking stepping it up. 386 athletes tested, 727 total tests, 6.73 tests per day. Anderson Silva in first place with 11.
Whoa.
Nate Diaz, Rafael Dos Anjos, Holly Holm, Hector Lombard, Misha Tate all tied for second place with 6. Then there are 15 fighters now tied for third place. I'm not going to read them all off.
That's insanity.
They are fucking stepping shit up. Make it stop. Just make it
They're
stop.
spending that money, man. They want that paper.
They need to find their Lance Armstrong, and it looks like Anderson Silva. They want to get him. They want to get him.
They already got him.
Yeah, but that was NSAC. USADA hasn't got him yet.
I see.
They will. Or they won't. Let's move right along.
Yes.
Ask the nuts.
Please.
Boom. Who is the most underrated fighter in UFC history?
Underrated?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, in history? Jesus, that's a tough one.
Well, I'll say this. I think any fighter that's tested positive for steroids is underrated. Because it seems like anytime that happens, I'll say like Vitor Belfort, Chris Cyborg. You can see even Alistair Overeem. It seems like once that happens, that person is tainted, and the only reason they're good is because they took steroids, especially Chris Cyborg and TRT Belfort.
Which was the greatest.
They can't get around that.
No.
And they blame their use of the drugs is why they were so good. I'm like, no, that's not why they were so good. Did it help? Sure, but
of course.
You got to put the fucking work in to make that shit happen.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that stigma sticks. I mean, look at Cyborg. They're still talking shit about her and her fucking steroid use. Like, how many years ago was that? And I think it's more of a stigma on a woman than it is on the man.
Okay.
It's unfortunate, but
yeah. I mean,
go ahead.
I'm going to say Demetrius Johnson.
I think he's overrated.
Really? Because I feel like people cap on him because he's like shitty in the shitty weight class, and look, oh, he's not exciting, but here's a guy who's dominating everybody. And I'm not a big fan of that weight class, but I was thinking about when you said that. I'm like, I was thinking about him, and I was trying to listen to what you're saying, and I'm going, yeah, Vitor was another one, but you know, the Vitor era is gone, man. It's not coming back.
I don't know, unless he goes to another league, but.
Oh, Jesus.
You know, he's losing out on so many millions of dollars. That's the thing I don't get. And I just saw someone else just signed an 8-fight, I think it was Matt Brown, signed an 8-fight contract with the UFC. Why are you guys signing for fucking 8 fights? That's could be 3 years.
Yeah.
Try to sign for the shortest amount of time possible. Everyone's just locking in forever. I think didn't Anderson Silva sign up for a 12-fighter or something double digit? What are you guys doing? I understand they want to retain you, but fuck, you lose so much negotiation power in 8 fights. Come on.
Maybe he's happy. Maybe he's making that Anderson Silva money.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like they're getting taken advantage. So, does UFC 100's Brock Lesnar wreck today's heavyweight division?
Ooh, good question. Because he lost to Alistair Overeem. I think
that's when he was injured.
I think a healthy Brock Lesnar beats anybody, in my opinion. I don't see. And imagine if he was healthy and still active, and he had these last 2, 3. Was it been 4 years, 3 years? Been a while.
Been a while.
Yeah, to build and grow and get a game going and work on his striking and the whole nine. Dude, scary. I don't know who beats that guy. I mean, Jesus, think about it.
He beat Frank Mir, and Mir was. I mean, Mir fucking got him in the knee bar the first fight.
Yeah.
Mazzagatti didn't feel like stopping it right away.
Right.
And he beat the fuck out of him in the second fight.
Strawberries.
Brutal. Brutal.
Yes.
And then he tried the Homer Simpson approach against Shane Carwin.
Yes.
And gassed himself out. And took a lot of punishment. A lot of punishment.
That's
then
crazy.
he came back and fucking submitted him with arm triangle. Pretty sweet. So I think that fight was when he was beginning to be injured, and then he came back and like Alistair and fought Kane, and those were tough fights. And Overeem tested positive right after that fight with Brock Lesnar. Should have been overturned.
There he is, right.
Should have been overturned. So yeah, I agree. I think he would have done a lot of damage. Eighth Wall on Twitter asks, how lame are Reebok fight shorts still? 50-50 black and white versus 50-50 white and black.
I don't know, man. This shit's fucked up.
I think they're fucking epic. I think they're the best shorts ever. I think the creative design team for Reebok should probably design some new MMA Nuts t-shirts. They'd be selling like fucking hotcakes.
At least one a quarter. Or two, at least. And we have to make sure they're $150 though.
Yeah, I like that.
That's the key.
It's very elite club to own a said t-shirt.
It should be all white, like the Kanye West white shirt I saw. Just
white.
The logo's there. You can't see it. It's white. It's
white on white. It's like the Metallica Black album.
White. But the logo's there.
I feel you. I feel you.
$150. $149.99.
Yeah. Free shipping.
Yes.
Anywhere in the world.
That's right.
Done. When commentators talk strategy during a fight and fighters are close enough to hear, isn't it like unfair coaching?
Maybe. I wonder if anyone's ever asked them that question. Can they really hear?
They can hear you.
Can they hear you?
When they're that close? Yeah. Because you're this close.
Oh, good point. Because the cage.
Heads are down here. They hear
literally, right? Okay.
Especially if it's an early fight.
Yeah.
You know how dead those arenas are when you hear Tyrone kick his ass. Like Jesus, Woodley, your mom is fucking. I'm all the way on the other side of the arena. I can hear your mom yelling.
Yes. I wonder if Joe Rogan's like, he should be doing this and that, and like the guy reverses whatever and finishes like, thank you, Joe Rogan. Like, it's gray area.
Yeah, it depends. Like, how often do you listen? Do you tune out? I zoned out when I was fighting.
I would imagine.
Listen to anybody. I guess it depends on who the fighter is, and are you gonna listen to Joe or somebody?
Yeah.
Mike, I want to listen to Goldberg. Teep! I am embracing the grind. Slip and rip.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Goldberg. And let's wrap it up with Rodrigo Machado.
Okay.
It's time, Mingo.
Here we go.
Matt Rape Train. Ingo, Sugar Daddy, pound sign. Remember, you must choose one. Would you rather stop animal abuse or stop pollution?
Animal abuse.
I'll agree. Would you rather go to the cinema alone and watch a movie by yourself, or go to a restaurant alone and eat by yourself?
I don't care. Either one's fine with me. I've done both. Doesn't bother me.
I'll go to a movie by myself. I don't like to. I don't go out to eat.
Well, yeah.
Would you rather live with your significant other in a cabin in Alaska, or your friends at a tropical island? I am laughing, but it's Jesus Christ. Who the fuck's gonna live with their significant other in a cabin in Alaska? Fuck that. I'm going to a tropical island with my friends all day, all night, all day. I'm gonna answer that for you.
Thank you. I don't want to go to jail for murder, so definitely tropical island.
Jesus Christ. It's, you know, do you know how much work it's gonna be to live in Alaska? It's a lot of fucking work.
They have that show. My wife watches that Alaskan, whatever the hell it
There's
is.
so many of them, but
yeah,
Jesus Christ.
They live in a fucking place not much bigger than this, and the wife sometimes stays and sometimes she goes home for the winter, you know. And it's crazy. No, I would not do that. I wouldn't even do that with anybody. Never mind the wife, but yeah, tropical island, friends, all day. I'm there.
Yes.
Crazy ass question. I like it.
Would you rather only get hit on by unattractive people, or always have people of the same sex attracted to you?
But does that mean you could not be attracted to the people, or other sex? Wait, that question's confusing. So if guys are always hitting on you, but girls also hit on you, I'm fine with that, because I'm not gay and you can hit on me all day and we're not fucking. That's fine. So
I'm just sucking your dick. But I ain't fucking
I'll
you.
just put it in my mouth a little bit. But if it's like only men are attracted and women are never, then I'd say I'll take the ugly ones. That's fine.
I don't understand the question. I plead the fifth.
Okay.
I'm Nick Diaz. Respectfully, plead the fifth.
Nice. Bringing it back old school.
Fuck yeah.
2 years ago.
Yeah, he's about, you know what? He's almost ready to come back to fighting about now.
Oh, yes.
Isn't it August, right after July? I think he comes back mid-July. And also Chael Sonnen coming back about the same time.
Yes.
And it sounds to me like Chael wants to have another fight. I think he's going to come back. Wouldn't be a bad thing. No. I don't really know who would be a... Oh, there was the rumor, Chael versus GSP.
Oh, yeah.
I think Chael's a little too big and a little too steroided up.
Like 250.
He's been out for 2 years. Do you know how many steroids you could be jacking in your body right now? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I have no problem with all this. Knowledge. You got anything for this week? What do you got?
I hope you haven't seen this. Have you seen your boy Alan Melcher?
No, what's he doing now?
He says if you can teach and keep students, he can help you grow your program to the size you want. He knows what he's doing. He promises you the two-step process. We need to be focusing. He's got videos. He's got sales marketing funnels. He's got the whole 9 yards. He has gone internet marketing guru inside. Look at the simple two-step funnel I use to generate 60 to 80 new martial arts students a month. Bam!
Thank you. It reminds me of Lloyd Irvin.
Yes. I don't know.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he's gone that route. He even has a flowchart, all kinds of crazy stuff. I saw this on Facebook today, and I'm going, really? That's what's happening? And I clicked through, and I was like, it is really happening. So, I mean, it could be genius. It could be totally like...
I thought he was working on some jiu-jitsu techniques, like leg locks and...
He's probably doing both.
There's a system. There's my system. Now I got another system.
Always systems.
How to embezzle money from people.
He probably, I think didn't he used to be under Lloyd Irvin or affiliated or something?
I don't remember.
Anyways.
That guy needs to just go away, Lloyd Irvin.
I figured you'd like that.
Never speak of the name. It should be like Voldemort. Harry Potter. We don't speak his name.
No. You have any knowledge?
No. Okay.
Well, I guess that's been this week's Dish Am I Nuts.
Yep.
Hope you all had a happy Memorial Day.
Yep.
Don't die.
Thanks for playing.
Thank you, Michael.
Thanks,